life choice, and I'm here to argue to you that if you make that life choice, that you will be successful, and not only will you be successful, you will help our suffering people all over the planet become successful as well. You are the key. Young black man and woman here, sitting right here and listening to me and saying, you are the key and a key part of the rise of our people. So let me get a little bit more into my bio so you can know about me and what I do and how I live what I'm about to teach you. I'm not going to teach you a subject here from an academic perspective. I'm going to share with you some of my life experiences and try to encourage you, like an academic counselor, to choose a certain career path that can really, really help our race and help our people. And then I want to open up a question and answer, so some of you that are looking at me skeptically, some of you skeptics out here, you'll have a chance to question what I'm saying. So as a student activist at Howard University, I embrace the ideology of black nationalism, the ideology of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Do you know who Mr. Garvey is? Raise your hand. Pretty good. I embrace the ideology of Minister Malcolm X. Do you know Minister Malcolm X? Every hand goes up. I embrace the ideology of others you may read about and study about, Patrice Lumumba, Stephen Biko, Kwame Nkrumah. All of those that I named in my opening, I began to study them on the campus of Howard University, and their words and their writings opened my eyes. On the campus of Howard University, in the very late 80s, we took strong actions as a student organizer, strong actions as student revolutionaries. There were times when actions were taken by the administration that we disagreed with, and we did not passively disagree. We actively disagreed with those policies. At one point, when George Bush, the senior, appointed a member of his Republican National Committee to be on the board of directors at Howard University, the students resisted. The students took a strong stand against it. We took the administration building. I mean, about 1,000 of us took and occupied the administration building, put the administrators out, put the security out, took chain bolt locks and locked all the doors and locked ourselves in, set up our own security, and set up a command post and a demonstration line and held the building and shut the whole school down and the city down for about 7 to 10 days. It was national news every day. And it took national leaders to come in to try to get us to stop doing what we were doing. National negotiators. It took old Jesse Jackson. You know him. It took him to come in and try to negotiate, to calm and cool us down. Because we were revolutionary students, black nationalist students, Pan-Africanist students. We didn't let administrators push us around. We didn't let professors push us around. If they took actions that we deemed contrary to the mission of the university or contrary to the current student explosion of black consciousness, they took actions against that. We took actions back. And we ran that campus. And they gave us what we wanted during my time at Howard University. I was persecuted as an activist. Turn that off, please. Not off, but whatever that is. Run it, but don't run it while I'm talking.
Turn the sound down.
Run that thing. They're running a webcast.
It's been live.
I've been fussing at them about getting the webcast.
Talk about
right.
that.
Let's give Hashim and Zinga a hand. He avoided the death penalty
Twice.
by getting the webcast going, and now I'm here to tell you really, it's some thousands that are watching around the country and around the nation that we have invited because we are internationally and nationally connected. This little group of brothers and sisters you brought here and this attorney that you have brought in here, You have stepped on a landmine, and you have hit the black jackpot. Because we are some of the most dedicated, strongest organizers anywhere in America. Some people don't like us. When you get out of here, you'll Google us now. Say, oh, I wonder who those guys are. You'll Google us, and you'll go on the internet and find out who we are. That's right. Find out why we have been opposed for coming on the college campus, but you will understand why you have brought the right stuff here today. Now, at Howard University, for being a student organizer, for standing up, for teaching the truth, for inviting such you should run the camera so it's at me.
No, it's coming.
Straight. Or you running it off. Oh, you trying to move that computer around.
Right.
The camera ain't linked up. Oh, okay.
This is recorded.
Anyway, technical stuff always irritates me. I say set that stuff up in advance, test it out in advance, run it in advance. Anyway, y'all technocrat, y'all iPads and IP addresses and all of that. But look, because I want to talk to y'all, so let me make my point so I can open up, because I really want y'all to challenge me in the question and answer session. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge your career choices here today. I'm going to challenge you here who have your mindset thinking that you're going to make it in white corporate America. I'm going to challenge your career choices, challenge your career objectives, challenge your notions of what you think that you should do with your degree and where you should go. I'm going to challenge you. Now, as a law student, from undergrad and demonstrations and administration, building takeovers, Black Conscious Student Organization, rallying the students, educating the students, bringing guest lecturers in. I caught fired in law school also, and was able to go to another level. I brought Minister Louis Farrakhan to my campus on 2 separate occasions. I brought Minister and Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad to my campus over and over again. Dr. Leonard Jeffries to my campus over and over again. I was a Black conscious student organizer on the highest level. And my job was to raise the consciousness of the Black student, to raise the awareness of the student as to our role and responsibility as Black college students. Where is that spirit, let me ask you today? Where is the same spirit today? Where is the Black college student revolution? Where is the conscious organizers? Where are the student radicals here at Clark Atlanta University? You all have gotten conservative. Some of you all have gotten comfortable. So let me tell you about my story, and then I'm going to prod you a little bit. So at law school, Howard University Law School, I caught even more fire because the men I was bringing to the campus were not liked by white society. They weren't liked by the white man. They weren't liked by the Jews. I'm talking about Louis Farrakhan and Dr. Khalid Muhammad. That's right. When I brought them to my campus as a law school students, it blew up. It was all in the press. It was all in the media. Some of it you can see online on YouTube. It's still there from some of the things that I did under my student organization, some of the organizing I did from Unity Nation on the campus of Howard University. I was threatened on my law school campus and in my law school journey. I was threatened to stop this Black nationalist organizing. I was threatened that if I didn't stop organizing in the way that I was organizing, that I would never be a lawyer, that I would never get my law degree, I would never be allowed to pass the bar, that I would be kicked out of school. They say they had anonymous testing in law school, where the tests were anonymous, and the professor didn't know what paper he was grading. The hell if that was true. But anyway, despite being attacked in the news myself as a student, despite being attacked and for professors in my own law school calling for the dean to censor me and censure me, meaning make a public statement denouncing me in my own law school, which I thank him, Dean Ramsey, he never went for it, from the other Caucasian professors who was in at the law school trying to run the campus. Old Professor Gavel and some other ones who I have some choice words for that I won't say. But I'm talking about the dynamics, you know, of being on this college campus or any college campus that I might go to, challenging the students to organize or to take a stronger stance, and the realities and the pressures of life. What's your mama gonna say? What's daddy gonna say? What's the professor gonna say? What's your counselor gonna say? What's the dean gonna say? What's the president gonna say? Most of all of that is enough to make any student run for the hills or just put tape over your mouth and be quiet and go on out here and get that degree, right? But not Malik, Zulu, Shabazz. I kept on pushing forward. And so despite going through what I went through on the college campus and being told that I would not graduate, I would not become a lawyer, I would not get my law degree, I went through my law school career just fine. I passed my bar exam on the first time, while others who thought they were smarter than me was going back for their second time and their third time. I was not in that group that was seeking to be in the top 10% of my class so that I could qualify for a job with the corporate law firms who were coming to interview at Howard University. Yeah, I want to be in the top 10% of my class, but I have no interest in my mind, and still did, of going out here and putting myself on the auction block to be bidded on by white corporate firms. Yeah, I know some of this is going directly against your ideology. Because many of you here are here to be hired by white corporate firms. Many of you here believe that white corporate America is the only way. But I will say this to you in a nutshell. I have not suffered at all by not joining and giving my time and my talent and my labor and my law degree to white America. I haven't suffered at all. I feel more liberated than ever. And I got everything that some of you may want. Mercedes-Benz S550, 2012 with the 22-inch rims. That's what you want. I know what you want. I know what you're listening to. You're listening to Jeezy. You're listening to Rick Ross. You're listening to Lil Wayne. You're listening to Kendrick Lamar. What's your name? Rich Boy? Huh? Is that right? I got the same stuff in my deck as you have in your deck. You come from the hip hop era. I know what you want and what you like. And so as I'm coming here to talk this nationalist talk, coming here to talk to you this black power talk, I'm here to tell you don't shy away from the struggle, because those things that ultimately y'all want, money and a nice car and a job, I got all that too and have had all that. Every time a new ride came out, I had it. New Range Rover, Mercedes-Benz, way back, Hummer, all of that. But that's not necessarily what it's about. That's what I call secondary but necessary. Nice cars, that's fine. Nice home, that's fine. But your character, your integrity, what you stand for and what you live for is the most important thing in life. Yeah, that's the most important thing in life. And so, coming out of law school and establishing my own law practice and fighting for years to stay independent, now where am I? I'm just where my people need. They need me right now, fighting in the courtrooms against police abuse, police brutality, police murder. They need me in my community for a wide range of legal services. and my phone will not stop ringing. And the amount of people that want to seek my services, it just won't end. Your future is not necessarily serving white corporate interests and making the white man's world bigger and better. Your job is to try to build your own world and make your own people stronger, because no people can get strong working for and building up another people's empire. Your germ, your basic mentality has to be, in my argument, argue with me if you will, that your focus and your goal must be that you will raise your people up and help your people get to where they have to go. Because ultimately, if you just make it as a college student and you become one of these elites who graduate and one of the few that are making it, you'll be judged by the condition of your people. You can turn a blind eye to the black man and woman in Atlanta, and they look kind of rough sometimes out there on them streets, don't they? You can separate yourself if you want to and just stay within the confines of the college campus. But I'm here to tell you that America and the world judge you on the condition of your people, not on what you're doing as an individual. Amen? Now let's take it a little further. The black colleges were started because whites didn't want blacks at their colleges. The black colleges were started because white people did not want you going to school with them or around them. So they created black colleges and freedmen's bureaus and other places where they allowed us to be, quote unquote, educated. And even with the education, they had a design within that to miseducate you to keep you confined. Plessy v. Ferguson, the landmark Supreme Court case of 1896, Plessy v. Ferguson legalized segregation. And segregation is when two people are split, the one has superior resources and capabilities, and the one that they are separated from has inferior resources and capabilities. That's Plessy v. Ferguson, and that's what has ruled us, and that's what has hampered us. Because why? Because it's whites who are allowed to become lawyers when you were denied law school, whites who are allowed to become doctors when you were denied medical school, whites who are allowed to become teachers and to have professional degrees when you were not allowed to. Now today, when they wipe the knowledge of that history out, it seems to be that we're so far behind. Well, let me tell you this, if you break my leg, break my arm, and start me in the race 100 yards behind someone that is 100 yards ahead, well, how in the hell am I supposed to catch up? How am I supposed to compete? Don't put your head down, dear brother and sister, here and think that it's impossible to catch up with everything that white people have. White people are not smarter than you. Their students are not smarter than you. They've been given a major advantage and a major head start, and they have faced no discrimination. When your mothers and grandmothers and grandfathers were not allowed to build, to become doctors, to become lawyers, to become engineers, to become architects, their grandmothers and grandfathers and all of them, they were allowed in the white community to have that and to build what's called institutional wealth. And so some of you are either in the first generation or the second generation in your family to go to college. Those of you who are in the first or second generation to go to college, raise your hand here. Look at it, that's almost the whole room. You go into a college campus of white kids right now and ask them to raise their hand. If they're the first or second generation to go to college, and almost none of them will raise their hand. Because they haven't faced the discrimination, the institutional discrimination, the American institutional racism that we have faced. Plessy v. Ferguson, legalized segregation, all through Jim Crow, North and the South, banned from law schools, banned from medical schools, banned from graduate schools, banned in many instances in the South and the North from property ownership, home ownership. Now today, again, the subject is the role and the responsibility of the black college student in this environment. The black college, again, whites have had a major head start. Now, how many of you heard of W.E.B. Du Bois? And what was his teaching? Somebody tell me his teaching. What's his teaching? Double consciousness. Hold that. That's important. And somebody else said, tell me, young man. Talented 10. What does that mean? What does bringing up mean? Give me an example.
Someone that operates that is not just a place, but has the power to create policies and laws that affect
Let's give him a hand. Double consciousness. Young lady, you said double consciousness. Talk to me.
I take from it is kind of exposure with the African American living in America and being African American and trying to live in American society.
How to basically be black and to be American at the same time, which many times can be a contradiction or a struggle within itself. But he teaches us primarily is known for this doctrine of the talented 10. And I'm here to tell you that straight up, you are that talented 10. You are the ones that have the degrees and will gain the degrees and will have access to the institutions of power, and you will have respect in our community. It is not rhetoric to say that you are the future leaders of our people. And so I have to come and do a check on where your mind and your mentality is and your consciousness is, so that I won't be left out here alone. Now, where is the black studies on the black college campus or amongst the black students going to college today? Where is the black conscious movement on this campus or Morehouse or Spelman or Howard University or amongst the black student movement? Where is the student movement? Where is the student revolution? Where is the black college student today? I am taught that you can judge how a person will be in their career and in their life by how they conduct themselves as a student. I am taught that if your student and academic time is spent in a certain way with a certain focus, it will characterize and shape you for the rest of your life. If you're a student here that doesn't take academics seriously, has poor work habits, you will probably continue those habits for the rest of your life. If you're a student here that is not interested in your people or the state or condition of your people or helping your people, most likely you will continue on that path for the rest of your life. If you're a student who is conscious, a student who is revolutionary, a student who is concerned about their people and about Africa and about what's going on in the world, you are highly likely to carry that into your professional career. So I'm concerned, and to all the other students who are watching, I'm concerned about the lack of consciousness, the lack of commitment to our struggle, the lack of knowledge about our history on the college campus. Right here, I think I had some facts or something that's going to be brought to me from my staff. I'm going to tell you a few black facts, and then we're going to open up. We have the author here of Cold Soul. She's trying to play low-key in the back, but Sister Nadia Asada Shakur, the author of a new book out called Cold Soul, is here in the audience with us. Let's give her a black hand. And so, I'm going to open up in a minute. I'm going to tell you about Africa, and they're going to give me some black facts that tell us how much work is to be done. Black lawyers. How many of y'all considering a career in law? 1, 2, Read. What kind of law, sir?
Pretty much like civil rights law, like working like kind of in the community with people who feel that they've been, I guess, discriminated against for whatever, whether it's race or disabilities, all that type of stuff. So,
Civil rights law. How many of you think civil rights law could be a lucrative career? Those that raise their hand may know something. Because from his description, it would sound like he's just going to be out here just working in the community and he's going to be back saddled with all these people with problems and it doesn't look like he's going to be balling, right? Let me tell you this. Civil rights law practiced successfully can be very lucrative and make strong contributions. All right, thank you. All right. Civil rights law, young man, pursue that. It can be very lucrative. Civil rights law and constitutional law and federal statutes form the base of our fight today in the legal arena against police misconduct, against police excessive force and abuse of power under the color of law. And if you become a successful lawyer in that area, those judgments, those verdicts, those settlements, winning victories in the civil rights arena pays very well. But it's more so than it pays very well, it's much needed in our community. Who is the other young lady here? You want to be a lawyer? Talk to me. What kind of lawyer you want to be, sis?
I either want to do entertainment law or do defense attorney.
Entertainment law and a defense attorney. Certainly our entertainers need guidance and they need lawyers. Some of them I've represented myself here. Some in this town, Trill Entertainment, another time, Pimp C, Rest His Soul, and others. We need conscious attorneys. There are too many attorneys that are really the enemy and attorneys and agents that are the actual real enemy of the artist. Criminal defense, always needed in the black community. Who else? Other lawyers. Others here. Let me go. Career choices. What you want to be, sir?
I am an entrepreneur.
You are an entrepreneur. Brother's saying he already is what he wants to be. What are you doing, sir?
Right now, I am currently working to trade stocks on the OTC bulletin board this summer with my best friend. We plan to brand ourselves and to create a label and also to create a fashion line because they work in the same.
Let's give him a black hand. I know these statistics. I'm gonna challenge some of these statistics because it don't seem like it can be true. And then we'll get into some more career choices. But they say here, I can't believe this, that 4% of college students are black males. 4% of all college students in America. Okay. 1.2 million black male students make up 5.5% of all college students. Well, let's just address this point here. These campuses, and they have been for decades now, are just overrun with the black men. And are overrun with our sisters, and the black man is a rapidly declining minority. Is that right? And then the amount of available black men that are actually and technically available for you is even further low. Am I right?
Yeah, right.
Let the sisters say amen.
Amen. Amen.
The black woman is dominating the college campus. The black man, under attack from society, is a shrinking minority. And then in his shrinking minority, he don't know which way to choose half the time. Hello? He's making the wrong choices. Let me just step right on out there without stepping on your toes too hard, Professor. So let me just say straight up, the black woman on these college campuses is looking for a black man that's looking for a black woman. Is that the man you're looking for?
Yes.
We're at war. If we're at war and our war is to save and preserve the black family and build a nation, then as men, we're soldiers. And we need every available soldier to be available for the black woman in this war. We can't lose no soldiers to nothing else. Hello? Now, there's some other things I could say, but I'll refrain from saying it because I want to come back. But you can kind of gauge my position on that. I'll call on the black man on every college campus where I go to take a strong stand and to make himself available for whom I call his queen, his goddess, the black woman. The black woman is suffering today and trying to prevent going the other way. As best she can. And then on other campuses, majority white college campus, maybe the brother just leave the black woman and he may not be leaving him for another man. But he's leaving the black woman for a white woman. Hello? He wants Susan. He wants Becky. He wants Jill. See, in my days, we called that treason and being a traitor to your nation. And somebody got to stand up and say it. Black man, if you are that much of a minority, you're that much needed, that means you're that valuable. And so I don't come here to try to crush anybody or condemn anybody or start no stuff up in here. But I am here to tell the black man he's going to have to stand up and go in the right direction and know where his head and his mind should be and who he should be dedicated to. And that's you, black woman, and only you, black woman, and nothing else. I heard about them over here in Morehouse. They had to put a dress code out. Just to try to tell the black man to not wear his high heels and his dress and all of that on the campus. Let me open up for some questions. I think I've said enough for now.
Nah, keep going.
Let me open up in this class for some straight questions. Question me on anything I said. Queen.
I've been to one of the lectures before. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I was a part of an organization called Soul Organization.
Soul Vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've had you as well as many other people like your Shabazz and some people we have like most of their archives. I feel like sometimes when you have these organizations, and my reason being for why I left Soul Organizations, and we've also traveled and been to many different other Black Panther meetings. That some of them were in DC, some were in Philly. My kind of take on seeing a lot of them is that you have a lot of people who are not necessarily 100% with their heart into having a militant organization or having a Black focused organization. I feel as if today there are a lot of people within those camps that don't necessarily have the right motives, like they're doing it just to say, oh yeah, I know this person, or I do this, my knowledge is so extensive. My knowledge on Egypt is very extensive. My knowledge on Black history is very extensive. I mean, having known, having had the opportunity to meet people like Barry Shango is an honor. But I just kind of have this, my entire view on a lot of these organizations has changed. I want to know, for you being a leader within these organizations, what do you do to make sure that the people in your camp are 100? Like, how do you make sure that these people are not going out here, saying, listen, I want to support the Black women, and then they got 10 women waiting in their bed at home? So what do you do as a leader to make sure that that's not what happens? Because that's what I feel is happening.
That's a heavy question. That question is so heavy that I'll touch on it for a moment and I'll have to consult with you maybe after. Because that deals with a lot of broader problems within our movement and issues. But I could say that I try to give the best example in my own actions and conduct. And I try to train and guide those that I'm with the best that I can. Tomorrow, you touched on some other points in your statement. Tomorrow at Georgia State University, I'm getting deep. They have a PowerPoint presentation and lecture. I think I teach from 3 to 6. Is that Asheen? Right, Asheen? You're not here. At 3 for a few hours, starting at 3 o'clock. I have slides in the presentation that are going to go into some things that you all need to know. Many of you believe that our history began in slavery. Many of you have been bitten by the virus of white supremacy and black inferiority. And so tomorrow we're going to go into original, what's called Egyptian or Kemetic civilization. We're going to go into facts and proof and evidence to show that the black woman is the mother of all civilization, and that the black man is the father of all civilization, and that we as black people are the fathers of mathematics, the fathers of science, the fathers and mothers of architecture, religion, spirituality, and that we gave birth to all the major disciplines that are studied under Greek philosophy. And so this needs to be taught and this needs to be known. I'm going to go into that in Georgia State in detail. Ancient African history, so you all can understand and lift your heads up and not believe that our history began when we were brought to America, as they teach us, in 1619 or 1555, as we know it. And so we'll go into that tomorrow. I have slides from Africa, Georgia State, that I'm going to be getting heavy into, slide presentations to show you what's happening in Africa and the good that's happening in Africa. So my sister, I can get into that, but I don't want to go all into that right now. Certain contradictions in the movement. I'm trying to find anybody that will join the movement
But that's
right
the
now.
problem. That's the problem. It's
It
not
might be
gonna
there,
right.
but it ain't a problem here.
You gotta get your team started first. That's all.
I believe that. I got to get a team first. Me and you have talked. That's true in the community, but on the college campus, we got to get a team. We're here looking for a group of conscious cadre of students that want to begin a process of learning and understanding who we are so that we can begin this path of change and fulfilling our role and responsibilities. Young man, then my sister, then you, Andres. I got you. Yes, sir.
My name is Greg Johnson. I'm from covering the this speaking. It's a blessing to be on.
Now, hold on one second. Don't be let me say this. I know we got a time for it. But right now, I got y'all attention. You may never see me here ever again. So work with me just for a few minutes, and I'm gonna let y'all out of here, all right? Because the likelihood of a similar lecturer coming to the campus is rare. Am I right? So let's try to get some of this done right now without just putting all that pressure on me. We started late, is that right? Now come on now, y'all give me, I got something here to tell you that can change your life. The lectures that I sat in on and got this knowledge that you're sitting in right now changed my life forever, sitting in your seat. Now, what's your question?
Okay. I also consider myself a student of Dr.
Got some of the rappers coming in here. Good. Yeah.
Some of the other Afrocentric scholars like that. My question is, what's something that Dr. Muhammad taught you that always stuck with you, one thing that you always recall, that you always say to yourself that he taught you?
Dr. Khalid Muhammad, stick by the principles and stick by what you're taught and be able to defend and articulate what you believe in and don't back off of it due to pressure. That's the main thing I learned from Dr. Muhammad, is that when we're taught certain principles here, we're taught certain values here, we're taught that our primary objective is to define, develop, and defend the best interests of our community. We're taught about our commitment to the liberation and rise of our people. And so I was taught by him that no matter what, don't change the teachings and don't change the doctrine and don't change the principles we believe in just because you're under pressure or under fire but be astute, academically astute, to study and research to be able to back up and to prove your points so that we can win our arguments. Those are two great things he taught me, amongst many others. But those are the two main things he taught me, brother. When I'm teaching you and what we know from him, stick by it and stand by it and be able to argue it and defend it and don't back up off of it simply because somebody don't like it. Yes, ma'am.
So, I'm soon to be a third-generation college grad. My dad has a degree from accounting from UT. My grandfather has a PhD in educational psychology. And for a number of years, my father worked on Wall Street. And currently, right now, he's using the money that he made working for corporate America to pay for my education. I noticed that you said something about going to work for white America or the disadvantages for working for corporate America. Well, what about those people who worked in that environment and in that industry who are actually giving back? For example, me, I'm getting my degree right now because of some white man writing my dad's check.
I don't knock at that. For producing you, let's give him a black hand. I know you got student loan debt piling up here. I'm not talking abstract. I can still get student loan bills. It seems to never end. When is it ever going to end? I'm not saying, sister, that some of you may not have to make a move, but don't make that your only option, and don't believe that that is a panacea. Many of you will be able to go out and maybe do like your father. Get a place inside white America, but make sure that your objective and your intent is to take whatever you make and to be able to give it back or to help somebody else go further. I can't knock that at all. But I'm saying that the overall policy of seeking acceptance and employment in general into white corporate America is killing us. It is not winning us over. And I'm going to tell you, and it's literally killing some, like physically killing, like attorneys or law students that graduated with me or near me, and then they go into major law firms with their hopes up high. And then they see that they're getting passed over as a partner in the firm. And then many of their careers are tossed to the side after 5 or 6 years by those that they put their trust in. And some of them have turned out bad. Some of them have ruined their lives believing that being in corporate America and that they would be treated in a certain way and rise to a certain level. They were disappointed when they met what young man? When they met that ceiling, corporate ceiling, or that discrimination that is alive and well out there. Don't act like it's just everything's over. Discrimination is alive and well in every company you're going to interview with. Passing you over for promotions for someone else that's less qualified but of another race is alive and well. They've gotten real slick with it due to diversity training and other techniques and tactics. But don't believe that you're going to get a fair shot out there. So I don't knock your dad. I don't knock anyone's parent that is currently out there hustling to put their and working to put their child through school. What I am telling you, sisters, that we need a black Wall Street. The man may be on Wall Street, but we had a black Wall Street, and we need and must have a black Wall Street. And young men like you and other entrepreneurs that are here can build that black Wall Street. There are hundreds of billions of dollars in the black community that's ours that's being sucked like blood out by others. Did you know most of the money that you desire, the resources you desire, are being sucked out of the community by others in a million different ways, whether it's human services, social services, legal services, a whole variety of services and finance and capital that comes into the black community leaves right out, and we never touch it. Even on a legal level, as we and other black lawyers that I'm with, and Black Lawyers for Justice and the coalition of attorneys I'm with, did you know that we are fighting tooth and nail against white attorneys and Jewish attorneys just to keep the business in our community, not their community. Because they smart, they not coming to us. Hello. But it's us that we're fighting from going to them. And it's the same in almost every business and every economic indicator. So I'm saying there must be a new thrust, a new goal. We need a Black Wall Street. And we need Black students and professionals that's committed to the Black model, because there are hundreds of billions of dollars that we're just straight up missing out on, running out to white corporate America, believing that that is our only option.
Shabazz,
Yes,
did you go to school with the man?
I did. That's a Kasim Reed. Yeah, he's true. He was in my class, and my classmate used to come to some of my lectures at our university. And so I'm very proud of Kasim Reed. Man, I know we have to go. I'm going to let y'all go in a minute. But give me a minute.
How do you suggest, my name is Jasmine Bailey, senior at Pennsylvania University.
Yes.
But I want to know, how do you suggest that we become student revolutionaries, or how do we take that revolutionary character outside of the classroom?
I should.
Understanding what a revolution is, number one. And a revolution, my sister, is complete constructive change. Sometimes outwardly it appears to be militant, but it is much deeper and more sophisticated than that. And so today I have on a suit and a tie. And some of them are wearing suits and ties and other types of outfits. And other times they'll have on military boots and fatigues and berets, or depending on how we want to carry it. The revolution is much more than an outward appearance. Revolution is much more than a fist thrown in the air, though that's part of what we drive for. It's much bigger than that. It's complete constructive change. It's even guerrilla warfare.
I should.
On another level. It's either maybe appearing to be one thing and doing another. So when you say how to carry the revolution, I say outside of the classroom environment, it comes first, sister, with knowledge. It comes first with Black consciousness. It comes first with a commitment to your people. Then you can stay exactly where you are. And we can send you almost anywhere. But when you go where you are and they're not even knowing who you are, you will be like a guerrilla war, not guerrilla, guerrilla, meaning that you could be undercover. But where do you want to be in life? What you want to be? Where do you want to be?
I want to be a newsmaker, but I also want to be a traveler.
You know, when I was talking to you, I pictured you at a news station before you even said that you wanted to be a news anchor. That means with what you know, and we can get you, at least initially, get you behind enemy lines. Maybe you can be one that behind those circles that could affect the negative coverage that's given our community. Maybe you could help make some reforms. But then ultimately, with that knowledge of communications and media, you'll do what? You'll go much further than just trying to work at local ABC, NBC. When you look at others in the white community that have taken media and taken it to a whole nother level on their own as an entrepreneur. So with the consciousness, with the commitment, with the connection to your people and connection to people like us, you can go very far, but it's not just based on your outward appearance. You can go just like that. We may need you to stay looking just like you are to get behind enemy lines. But with your mind in the right state, you can be very valuable. I take two more, and then I got to wrap. Yes, Andres.
As a Black female, my question is like, what do you suggest females to do so Black males can be Black females?
Say that.
What can females do so that the Black man can get his act together? Boy, that's a heck of a question. That question would intimate, that question would suggest, I'm going to close in a couple questions. I know some of y'all got to go, so but bear with me for a minute. Well, the That's a heck of a question, because it intimates that the black woman has some responsibility for the black man doing what he's doing. Now let me do this so I don't have to be the one saying it. What is the black man doing that you object to? So I don't have to say it. What do you object that the black man is doing? I'm gonna talk to y'all so you can say it, I don't have to say it.
Okay, so one, I don't like interracial. I'm really not into stuff on, guys, black guys, and, school districts, or whatever, or Asians, or Blazing. I'm not with that. Two, a lot of guys that like to play games, and my thing is, I don't know, it's just like,
I don't know what the black, see, on those two factors, I don't know what the black woman could do
my thing is,
better.
my thing is, just man up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just man up and be a man instead of being a little boy.
In terms of playing games.
And in terms of everything, in terms of just how, in terms of big things, in terms of, what you're involved in, the things that you do, the hobbies that
Well, let me just answer this. And college is a certain time in life, and to a degree, college is at a young age, and there's gonna be a certain amount of games that's gonna be played anyway. When you're young. So I'm gonna say this, let me just say this. Let me just answer your question direct. I don't really think that it's anything that the black woman could necessarily do to make the black man change. I don't think it's your fault that he's either turning to other men, or he's turning to white women, or that he's playing a lot of games. I wouldn't want to put a guilt complex on the system like that. I would say that our job, my job and our job, is to talk directly to the black man.
It is not our responsibility to change a black man. It is not a woman's job from a child, as he's a child, to raise a black man. It's a man's job. It is the father's job. If he is not there, there are plenty of black organizations that have very strong men that can help to raise a child. Even though there are single mothers, but that's not true. A single mother couldn't raise a child or a young boy. I do believe that it is a man's job to raise a man, not a woman's to raise a man.
That's what Shabazz is saying. She said
All right. I'm not gonna tell you. I have heard brothers say, I have heard some brothers say that date white women, and they will criticize the black woman. And I hear this line coming out of their mouth. Well, they're just too hard to deal with. They have a bad attitude. It's a bunch of excuses for upper top. It's a bunch of excuses for upper top. There's so many. I was taught a couple of things. Every no good woman was made that way by a no good man. I was taught that. And I know for a fact that the black woman is right and ready and is looking for the right black man. Period. If the black man will commit himself to the black woman in the right way, he'll be fine. He'll be in heaven. And there's God in these women. Now there's some issues and some problems, but I'm saying overall, this woman is the woman of God. She's the queen of the planet Earth. If you want something else, you're out of your mind. These sisters here is on their way. Look, what do you want? These sisters here is on their way to what? Successful careers, making money. They'll be good mothers. What do you want? And so I have to go back to work, not on the black woman sister, but on the black man. Two more and I got to roll. Professor wants to go. She's saying we got it. She was late. I'm going to let you know. She's got a 4:30 appointment. Last one, I'm out. Yes.
Well, I went to a recent town meeting and they said that they're going to diverse curriculum and universe.
Was that
They want to start letting more other races in the same college. And they're gonna give them scholarships too, to come start doing university.
Let's listen to a question.
So, my take is really, students aren't really saying, I don't know if they know about it. I
That's
don't know
your
if it's the
issue
first
right
time.
there.
Yeah.
Let me say this, let me grab your attention real quick. Black Power? Let me say this real quick. That's your issue right there. And they're trying to dilute, diversify, homogenize this university. That's your student organizing issue right there. That's where you strike first. Because the plan is, and it always